Our headlines today. An Armistice Day police security operation is in place in central London, with hundreds of thousands of people expected to protest in support of Palestinians.
We are doing everything that we can with a very significant policing response to ensure that people are safe.
Well, it's a day of protests here in London, but also a day of remembrance. At 11 o'clock, people across the UK will come together for 2 minutes of silence to mark those who've lost their lives in wars.
Heavy fighting has taken place outside Gaza City's main hospitals. Israel says Hamas uses the sites as command centres.
Worrying times for families of young children living with cystic fibrosis. New draft guidance says life-changing drugs are too expensive on the NHS.
Everything that we believed was in jeopardy. Everything was being taken away.
Good morning. In the sport, Tottenham aim for the top again in the Premier League this lunchtime, just days after that most chaotic of defeats when VAR dominated. Now the manager is hoping his depleted team won't be thrown to the wolves.
The Children's Commissioner for England says she's deeply shocked by news of school pupils collapsing after using vapes containing illegal drugs. Dame Rachel D'Souza was responding to a BBC report on cases of children who needed hospital treatment after using e-cigarettes with synthetic cannabis and other illicit substances. Scotland's Health Secretary, Michael Matheson, has said he will repay almost £11,000 he incurred during using a parliamentary iPad on holiday. He ran up the data roaming charges on a trip to Morocco whilst doing constituency work on a tablet with an outdated SIM card. Let's take a look at the papers today. The Daily Mirror's headline reads, "Torn apart," reporting that 2,000 officers will be on the streets of London today to monitor a large pro-Palestinian demonstration.
Let's have a look at the Times newspaper, a similar front page featuring comments by the Prime Minister ahead of this morning's march. It says Rishi Sunak has issued a final plea for those taking part to be respectful and peaceful.
The Telegraph reporting that 3 drugs used to treat cystic fibrosis might no longer be available for new patients on the NHS in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. This is something we're going to discuss more on the programme. Just after 8 o'clock, we'll have a mum and dad whose 2-year-old daughter has cystic fibrosis.
Yes, one of the most read articles on the BBC website is an image photograph. This is the image of King Charles, which will feature on the cover of Big Issue next week to mark his 75th birthday. King will be launching an initiative to help those in need of food while at the same time reducing food waste.